set out to make a video about the new SharePoint List Agent. I ended up with a takeaway about the gap between building more and more AI tools and actually connecting with uses that solve real business problems. And this, foundationally, is the challenge for Microsoft with Copilot. Their tools not only need to do cool things, we have lots of AI companies building cool things, they need to fit into an ecosystem that real businesses rely on, and hit the ground running as useful, not just exciting. Largely, product teams building Copilot features hit that mark, but sometimes features fall short, and I think it's worth considering how we address that gap as adoption practitioners, as it's core to making tools like Copilot feel like they are returning ongoing value. Let's dig in. My name is Nick DeCourcy. I'm a Microsoft 365 consultant who specialises in AI adoption for small and medium-sized businesses. I'm also a Microsoft MVP for Microsoft 365 Copilot. If you're interested in keeping up with AI advancements, make sure you get subscribed to the channel and drop this video a like so you get to see more from me in the future. And if you're interested in working with me, check out the links down in the video description to get in contact. So where I started with this video was that new SharePoint List Agent, a Copilot agentic experience that started to move to general availability in February 2026 that focuses on helping users create Microsoft lists. I had seen some content excited about this feature coming from the community, but I hadn't had a chance to try it out, so I decided I should. Lists is becoming an increasingly important part of the data substrate sitting under Copilot, and for good reason. Much of the data we work with in businesses lends itself to being at least somewhat structured, yet this often isn't how individual employees think about their work. We end up with cluttered data spread across file types and hidden in poorly designed or managed spreadsheets, and this information could be more accessible both to our human team members and our AI if it was better structured in a lightweight tool like lists. It's a real problem, which has a real technical solution in Microsoft 365, and we just need to get more people adopting it. So on its face, this list agent makes a lot of sense. Perhaps I have some data in an existing chat, like this table of city populations, and I want to turn it into a list. The SharePoint List Agent can take care of that for me. Or I might be having a chat about some HR data I need to store, and SharePoint List Agent can turn that into a list structure and build it for me. I might also, as in this case with this RSVP for an event template, have an existing Excel-based template and want to convert it into a list. The SharePoint List Agent handles these tasks and lets me choose where to store my new list, either in a SharePoint site or in my OneDrive. However, the transition to needing a tool like lists is often not so greenfield in nature. The challenge in most organisations is not taking esoteric information created in a Copilot chat and storing it, or creating a bunch of new places to keep things. It's about dealing with an existing data and process mess that leads to the problem of people not being able to find things, or the same thing being in 5 different places stored in 5 different ways. Perhaps a more real-world starting point for a user is that they're started to collect those RSVPs in their old Excel template, and then they decide to try out lists. Can the SharePoint List Agent help me here? Only partially. It's happy to create the list template, but it's unable to handle the existing data. This is a limitation I've replicated across multiple tenants. As I already showed, the list agent is able to put data into lists, but in my testing, as soon as that list structure or existing data becomes complex, it fails. And in other demos I've seen, even with less complex data, the list agent is incapable of fully importing a reasonably dense data set, preferring to bring across a handful of example rows. An even more applicable real-world scenario is trying to wrangle data from lots of different places. I recently showed this example in a video about Edit with Copilot in Excel. I was able to take this template and these rather random, mostly unstructured pieces of data to be inserted into it, and Edit with Copilot was able to do this in Excel in one shot. For SharePoint List Agent, though, the same problem. It can create the list template, but it has no way of working with the data. The list itself gets created, but the existing data gets left behind. Now, 2 things are important to point out here. First, from a purely technical perspective, List Agent appears to be working as intended. It is described as being able to create new lists from chats and from in-chat Copilot-generated tables, and my testing shows it can do that. Import of Excel content is not a promised feature, so there's nothing here that reads as a bug or an overpromise. And second, given that the agent does demonstrate the ability to both construct lists and import data into them, it's likely that at least some of these barriers could be overcome by more specific prompting or tighter control over the list design and data types. The problem I want to talk about is not one of the list agent failing, it's that its capabilities don't neatly map onto a real-world business problem I'm familiar with. In most cases, the reason your event planner Betty hasn't implemented Microsoft Lists to capture her RSVPs isn't because she doesn't know how to set up the list to begin with, although this might also be the problem. It's because making processes that involve data flowing in from different places stick consistently is really hard. The reason why Excel gets misused as a tool for any data that looks like it would benefit from being even slightly structured is that it's actually really forgiving. List Agent may well be failing out on bringing over my data because it's finding it hard to map what I gave it onto the data types it created. But the benefit and downfall of Excel is, unless you really work to lock it down, its structure is largely advisory. In lists, if you have some information that doesn't fit into any of the columns, you are somewhat out of luck, whereas in Excel, that blank column L can look very appealing, and this is the reason Excel sheets being used as databases often look like they're surrounded by notes. The core challenge of turning these problematic data processes into robust, repeatable patterns in a platform like Microsoft Lists isn't one of a lack of technical capability to create those lists. Even in smaller organisations I work with, there are people who could invest time in taking Betty's old spreadsheets and turning them into lists. The reason this doesn't happen is that the squeeze point is in the re-engineering the process, not building the data capture tool. Adopting a new approach takes time and takes effort. And even if Betty is fully on board, it's easy to forget that Marvin, who works on the reception, is going to continue sending his call notes by email, especially when faced with a new system. The known path of least resistance feels more optimal than a new approach, even if in the longer term that new approach has real benefits. For this reason, focusing AI help on building the data capture tool but ignoring the data wrangling issue is actually, in my view, a solution looking for a problem. It might be a cool solution, it might feel right to people excited about technology, but it doesn't do anything useful for the average worker who's just trying to work out whether the +1 Dr. Jones is bringing to the awards event is a vegetarian. Perhaps that information is in the correct Excel spreadsheet. Perhaps it's in some notes of a call Marvin took yesterday. And that's the real business data flow pattern most users need a lists agent for. The average organisation has no issue setting up new places to store data. We just run into big problems with actually using them, because as soon as even light structure is applied to an otherwise free-form process, many team members push back with ifs or buts about where they see friction in a way an AI tool never would. The SharePoint sites, Teams and OneDrives of most businesses I work with are a graveyard of good intentions on storing data better, where adoption just never matched ambition. Our AI assistants are decidedly good at reinterpreting and summarising data, structuring it in a way we need, something that most humans feel is a challenge when dealing with data-heavy processes. It's this AI superpower that could be most useful to users that List Agent currently entirely misses. Showing off new capabilities like an agent to create lists is fantastic. The teams creating tools like this are doing great technical work, but in the rush to push compelling tech demos into the generally available Copilot ecosystem, I have to wonder whether enough time is taken to pause to ask whether that capability is actually aligned with a challenge an average user faces. There are now a bunch of agentic features in Copilot that fall into this category of fantastic tech demos waiting to find a real business use case. Just up until now, most of them have been part of Frontier, the right place for this sort of forward-looking capability. The difference with the List Agent is it's now generally available, and while it's technically interesting, it's operationally incomplete. So what would operationally complete look like? We need tooling to solve for the data maintenance, not just the repository creation. Doing one but not the other potentially just makes the problem of all over the place data worse in many situations. At the very least, a list agent must be able to take structured and semi-structured data that maps onto an existing list and insert it. Optimally, maintenance of existing records and steps like deduplication would be possible too. And god-tier realization of this technology would allow Copilot to make suggestions on where data should be stored based on the context in which it's surfaced. For example, a message that says, "This email looks like it's an RSVP to the winter event. Would you like to add it to the RSVP list?" From my perspective, all these are within the capabilities of the AI models we now have access to and the Microsoft 365 data Copilot is built on. But do I see any of this on the roadmap? Not currently, so it's very difficult to know whether this end-to-end tooling is on the cards, or if effort has now moved on to the next thing. What has been announced is lists becoming a primary data source for agents. So we've solved creating the data source, we've solved consuming it, but we've just left the organisations already struggling with data quality to work out what to do about that on a new platform. This is Nick from the future jumping in here. I was about to publish this video and saw a LinkedIn post from Daniel Anderson considering using the new AI and SharePoint features to work with lists. As you can see from this demo on screen now, thrown the same data wrangling challenge in the context of a list, AI in SharePoint is actually much more capable than SharePoint List Agent. It can make changes to lists, add data both from spreadsheets and less structured information from free-form documents. This fills a gap that List Agent does not. The only problem is that while List Agent is now rolling out to GA, AI in SharePoint is in public preview. This poses an even bigger question about what effective adoption truly looks like if a feature that solves very few people's problems is rolled out to general availability, literally at the same time as a different feature pointed in the same direction that is much more capable but only starting preview. To me, this timeline and strategy makes very little sense, as if even with my deep focus on Copilot features, I hadn't immediately picked up on this crossover, what chance does a casual user or an overworked system admin have in keeping up? Is List Agent a bad feature? Absolutely not. But it is a great example of how successful technical adoption must go beyond just promoting features into thinking about how features connect together to help solve real problems. And just because those interested in the technology find a new capability exciting, does not mean it necessarily delivers a quick win. Sometimes the most interesting technical capabilities need to bake a little longer to be ready for broad organisational consumption. And it's this gap between technical capability and real-world usability that must be considered when planning adoption. There are constant changes to a product like Copilot, both in terms of updated and new features. Lots of these are exciting from a pure, wow, look what this tech can do perspective. But most ordinary users don't have much time for evangelizing technology for technology's sake. They have a job to do, and the question is, how can Copilot help them do it? And so this means that even though adoption efforts are often led by those with a more excitable and forgiving attitude to the technology itself, the core need is not to be a technology advocate, but a getting things done with it advocate instead. For most organisations, List Agent is not ready to be pushed through an adoption workflow, but every organisation's needs are slightly different. Next time you're considering introducing your team or organisation to a new feature, consider first, does it actually fix a problem, or does it just do something that seems cool? If it's the latter, it might just be one for you to play with and wait for a future update, rather than telling everyone about it and setting the expectation that it's ready to use. Do you agree with my takeaway on this feature? Let me know how you've been using it or testing it and the problems or benefits you've run into. Start that conversation down in the comments. Thanks for watching through to the end. I hope this was useful to you. Until the next video, bye bye.